All right, so we just finished our Headstone project, and a lot of you are probably wondering why in the world is a high school in Texas making headstones. So let me first of all give you some background on this. So it all started off last year before COVID-19. So during the summer, I was told there were some local cemeteries, so we went over there during a lunch break, and as we were walking through, I noticed that first of all, there were a lot of plots there that you could see, but the headstones had basically been washed out either from hurricanes or they've just faded over time. Now, these two cemeteries, for the most part, have really ceased being active, especially the one that we made this first headstone for. It kind of quit being used around the turn of the century. So a lot of issues that we had. So as we were walking through, I kind of looked and I thought, this would be something cool that our graphic design students could actually do. Now, we had a glow forge, so with the glow forge, we were able to etch a lot of different things. So as you can see, we kind of first started off with this rock. And once we saw the rock, that kind of gave us an idea that, hey, we could do this on slate as well. So it kind of combined those two ideas of, can we actually go through and create a headstone based on this? So our graphic design kids did a lot of work on this. They did a lot of research. We were able to access a lot of the records online to show us exactly who was buried in these plots originally. We found a bunch of notes from the early 1900s, and we read through these notes to figure out who was there. Then we did some research to figure out the names of the people. We tried to figure out exactly what was on that tombstone initially. And then, as you can see, we were able to actually go through and make this headstone that you see here. Now, this year, I did not have a graphic design class. Partly because COVID kind of threw a wrench in all of our plans. As you can see, we started the project last year, and we were about to the point where we were actually going to etch our work on top of the slate, but then COVID hit, and that kind of ceased all of our operations. So this year, because of COVID, I no longer had a graphic design class. Since all the kids had to be here and we started off remote, we couldn't actually offer them graphic design. So because of that, I actually had 3 students in other classes that were initially in my graphic design class last year. So those 3 students who are seniors this year, I put them to work and we kind of finished off a lot of the work that we did from last year. I was very pleased with how this project turned out. Not only that, I think this is something that every district in America could do. Now, you might need to have access to a laser cutter, which our district does have, but this is something feasible that the district could buy. And since every school in the United States is close to a cemetery, and everyone at some point is going to bury one of their family members, I think this has a lot of ties to the community. And not only that, but I think this is something cool that our students can actually get involved in local history. They can kind of have a general idea of the upkeep of some of these cemeteries. And not only that, it just is nice for all the families that are involved in this one as well. At some point, your great-grandparents are going to have some sort of relatives that no longer know where they're buried. And I think that's kind of up to all of us as a society to kind of take care of these and kind of do the upkeep on these cemeteries.